How are you? Happy Wednesday. I'm going to give everything a minute to catch up. Make sure everything's all good. All right, there's my camera. There's my video. My puppy's watching on the couch on my big TV. He sees his mama. And then he can hear me through the hall. So let me know if you're here. I am going to go ahead and kind of get switched over to my other camera. It's a new setup for me tonight. I rearranged my whole desk. Hi, Luann. Hi, Donna. And so I have my light up there, and I got my new light on over here. So hopefully everything works out good. Hi, Ellen. Hi, Lori. So hopefully I can get this. We got better. And then hello, Linda. Hi, Penny. I tried to get it so that it's a little lower even to my desk. So hi, Karen. Hi, Lori Gordon. My or in the subscription products are on their way, so I will have them next week. Hi, Crafty Cornerstone. Hi, JN Barrows. Hi, Lori from Wisconsin. How much snow did you get? Hi, Mom. Oh, thank you. It's sparkly. Just trying to stay warm. We got 9 inches of snow or so yesterday. It's been crazy. So, hi, Kate. So tonight we're going to make a Valentine's Day card with some products that are still available in the web. Got some old products, some newer product, and then next week I will bring you some a live video using subscription products. And over the weekend I will try to make a couple videos to upload. We're going to make an easel card. So if you haven't used the Easy Easel stamp or die yet, this is what it all comes with. You got hardly any. Okay. Okay. My parents live near the Twin Cities. My sister lives in the cities, Lori. Hi, Tina. So this is these are all the dies. This is the base piece that makes the easel. And then there's this leaf pattern. There's this big circle with, there's two different ovals, I'm sorry, that can cut out. There's been a couple videos before. I will try to make a playlist with those this week with the few easel cards that we have videos for. But this is the piece I used tonight. I did go ahead and do this ahead of time. Now, I will say this is a bigger die. So it doesn't fit through my platinum sticks in one pass. I had to do it in two passes, and you can see my sandwich was very tight, so it's a little bit bowed. So I am going to apologize for my camera. I'm still working with the new settings, and it's kind of falling, so I may have to adjust it a little bit tonight. I don't know why. It should be nice and tight. Excuse me a second here. I'm going to go ahead, and I think I turned the wrong camera off. You're looking at my belly. There we go. Let's see if I can get this to, it's falling for some reason, and I don't know why. It's tight. So we'll try to make that work. All right. Hi, Tia. All right, there we go. Get that back here. As I was saying, my sandwich was a little tight, so and this is a die that I can't really go at too much of an angle, so sometimes that can happen, but this doesn't affect it. I can just kind of gently put it back. So I did want to say that. This is just because I did it. But I cut mine out of, I'm using pink lemonade, rouge, and holly cardstock along with some perfect blend paper. And this is the this is the rouge. Hi, Kelly. I've already got it cut out. Hopefully we're going to get 2 cards made tonight. I wanted to show you. I don't know if you can see, there's score lines. And oops, I still have my pixie tape on it. That's easy to fix. That was to hold it in place so I could run it through in two different times. So this is how I got to think about it for a second. You're going to fold the small little piece up. Okay. Oh, I love this. It's really fun. And we're not even going to use we're just using this main die. And then you're going to fold this piece down. So it's going to look kind of like this. This is the inside of our card, and this is the top. So if you had an A2 top folding card, here, I'll grab one of those. So it looks kind of like, here's an A2 top folding card. And this is, sorry, that was zooming in kind of. So that's what you would look like, okay? And then you can use any dies in your stash. to make an easel card. You don't have to use the ones that that came with this. Now I will say there are, if you want to use the leaves, these two leaves right here in the center are the perfect to line up. I don't know if I did it up or down. I can't remember. Think this way. Would have to have it cut out, but it lines up. So you put those right on that score line, and that helps you line up your card when you cut it out. And then there's the inside and the outside part. But we're going to make a Valentine's card. I grabbed a couple of dies from my stash. I grabbed the Lawn Fawn inside out stitched hearts and the scalloped. I don't remember if this one's what this other one's called, the scalloped hearts. But this big heart has the inside out stitched, fits perfectly inside this like lacy heart. So I've got them already cut out. I've got one cut from the casual Christmas paper sack and one from the pink lemonade. I don't know if I'm going to use this one because you don't really end up seeing what it is. But if you look, see how it just kind of lines up? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get started with the rest of what I have done. So I already have a heart. I have a couple hearts cut out and ready to go, but our Create Your Own Ending challenge on the Brutus Monroe Fan Club is Sparkle and Shine. So we're going to add some shimmer and shine. And I have the Posh stencil. And okay, of course, you guys, if I don't notice it kind of tilting, let me know. I'll get this figured out somehow. I've been playing with it. It could be the weather. But this is the Posh stencil. I am going to add a little bit extra pixie spray to this just because I'm going to use glazes. I did do one last night, so it's nice and dry for us, but I like using pixie spray when I use glazes. You could do embossing powder too, like the fairy dust. I'm going to kind of use my grid to kind of line this up, and then I'm going to use the same thing. I kind of want, all right, sorry, I'm not talking. I gotta make sure as straight as I can get it across the top. And then we're just going to kind of press it down. Okay. It's not that it had it perfect, Donna, but I moved it from this corner to this corner, and now it's kind of, I don't know if I over tightened it. I'll have to play with it tonight. So tonight after we get done. And then last night, well, you guys, if those of you who are live, I asked you if I should use unicorn horn or fallen snow, and everyone suggested unicorn horn. So we're going to use the unicorn horn glitter glaze. And I have a stencil pal. This one is from Simon Hurley Creates. And then I have like a silicone brush, or this is from Tonic, I believe. I'm just going to push a bunch on. So if you didn't think about it, I mean, I don't know. I never really thought about it before last night for some reason. You can stencil on your glazes straight on your die cut. Why do a whole sheet and cut it out? And then you kind of waste it, unless you want to use like this, you know, the frame. So I like to go one direction when I use glazes. I don't like to go all over the place. I like to go with, just like I said, one direction, because I feel like you don't get the over. Zip ties or duct tape do fix a lot of things. But it's my camera, it's my phone. So it could be that it's just being perstickety tonight. Hello, Lisa, how are you? I am just going to quick spread that out one more time. And just go like that. And then I'm going to scrape a little bit extra off. Now, if you use this over ink blending, you may want to make sure that it doesn't have any ink on it, because this is a clear gel and you can transfer some of that to it. I have a ice cream bucket here with some soapy water that I'm just going to toss my stencil in and my score pal. And then I'm going to go ahead and show you. See, it's falling again. My thing is falling again. I'm going to quickly, when I do it like this, I do very carefully. I just try to find a spot where I didn't put any glaze. And look at that. Isn't that wonderful? It's almost like my camera is too close tonight. We may have to put that back. All right, so one other thing I would tell you is that if you can see, there's a little bit of the edges. really want that. So what I do while it's wet, very carefully hold it, rub my fingers around. If it's just a square piece or a rectangle piece, I don't care about that so much because I might cut it down. But yeah, and it's not even dry. This is just the wet part. So we're just gonna put this aside to dry and quickly clean up our mess. Here, I'm just gonna scrape a lot of this back into this. All right, and then we'll get a baby wipe. Now, if you haven't used the glazes before, another thing I wanted to say is the glazes, these glazes don't dry out very easily like some of the other glazes on the market can or have in the past. One of the things that I found with that is because you have this white piece inside. It's I'm not going to push it, but you can see I keep all of those even when I have an empty one. Like I emptied a bunch of mine out and I keep them so that if I lose one, I can put that in. But that helps take the place of like a press and seal. And then I wipe the cover down and then I just put the lid back on. See here, this is what it, and I just press that in and that helps keep them sealed tight. Okay. Yeah, it's very zoomy today. I'm going to raise this up just a little bit, you guys. I don't have to stand up for that just because I feel like that might give us a little better. Let's try that. Okay. Oops. Sorry, I twisted it the wrong way. We got to get straight. There we go. I have these little pieces of paper on so that my lights don't shine on your face. So, all right. And through the magic of television, this is what it looks like when it's dry. Go this way a little bit so you can kind of see. Isn't that, this is just, so it's a iridescent glaze, and Unicorn Hen has kind of some rainbow colories in it, where the Fallen Snow is more just that. So it's, hello, Francie. It is, it's very shiny. Now we have two options. I have two cards to make tonight. We can make tonight. This is the holly. I cut this one out, and all I did for this one is use a paintbrush and the Candy Coat Pearl. And so if you look, see the shine on that? And then it's got all the little plastic pieces in it. So I thought that was a fun one too. So we've got both of these to play with tonight. And then I have a couple of the hearts. So I'm thinking, this is what I was thinking. You can just barely see that pattern underneath, but I think that's what we're going to go with tonight. And then I used the pink lemonade for the pink heart. All right. Now we're going fairly quickly tonight, actually. I've got these done. We need to get our images. I think I'm gonna go pink with. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna do this one. Use the Pearl Shimmer Spray with a stencil brush to that stencil yesterday. It's okay, Cherie. You're fine that you're late. We're just kind of getting started. I had some things pre-done. Hi, Michelle. Ellen, it is a very pretty, it's one of my favorite stencils. It's going to be one of my favorite stencils of all time. So let us burnish this down. I did not do that. That will help with the easel card here a little bit. So if you have any, you can use any size. You can use just a plain old card front. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper here. I have the side. See, you could just do that for an easel. You can decorate it. So this base can be used with multiple dies. It doesn't just have to be the oval that it came with. So, all right, we've got those. So now I've got a few stamp sets to play with here. And I think we'll do one of each. I have, okay, so mine's going to look a little different. This is one that Christopher just brought back. It's the Loads of Love. Mine's an older one. It's been like taken out of the vault and brought back. So that's why mine has this color. Yours will have the white. And as you can see, I have masks already created. I think we're going to go ahead. I don't know if we're going to be able to color. The scallop edge makes me very happy too. I think I'm going to grab the unicorn. We're going to maybe do some fast coloring with this tonight. But we've got some time. Or, and you know, we can do that right on, or you can even just do the sentiment. And then I grabbed the I'll Love You stamp set. I thought that would be a fun one to play with too. So we're going to stamp those out. I did not stamp them ahead of time. I hope that's okay. Hi, Joanne. I am good. How are you? Hope you're not still snowed in. All right, I had my card stock here. Let's see, where did I put it? There it is. Got my perfect blend paper here. And we're going to stamp the unicorn and the owl. I'm going to try to get them both on the same sheet of paper here. This owl stamp set is still available. I looked it up. It's an oldie and a goodie. And it's a fun one to play with. I will have to check. You're doing that's not good with pneumonia. I hope you're feeling better. Penny, I'm not sure. Was there a cut file for the Owl Love You stamp set? I know there was one for Lots of Love, and I'm going to send an email tomorrow and see if we can get that put back in the store if it's still around. But I don't know if the owl one has one. Because I've had mine for a little while. And we're going to use the Raven ink here to stamp these down. And I've said this before, I have not re-inked my inks, so I may have to ink them a couple of times. This is just like a Stampin' Bug thing. Let's move these off to the side here so that I can come up a little bit higher. I'm still getting used to this whole new setup here with all my stuff in different spots. Like I put my Copics over to the side. They used to be in my bin, but I got some new baskets from the dollar store here in town that they're white with bamboo lids. And so now, hello, Julia, or Jules. Sorry about that. Hello, Jules. My baskets are now, so I have my chroma mists and my smaller bottles of embossing powders right here on my desk now. So I don't have to get up and get them. I still have to get up to get my aqua pigments, but I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and color this out here pretty soon, even though it's not perfectly stamped. Like I said, I use my inks a lot. So I need to tend to re-ink them a little bit. I mean, I use them a lot. So, all right. Got just a little spot here that is not cooperating with my Misty tonight. There we go. We're going to do some fast coloring. You made it, ordering Easter stuff for the store. Awesome, awesome. Oh, you get Christopher, I was going to say at one point with the Lots of Loves, there was an SVG file that was on there. So there was an FG previously for All of Love. Okay. I don't know if those are still available somewhere. And if I looked, but I didn't know. I just thought I'd ask since I'm using that tonight. I'm going to grab some tri-blends. We're just going to grab some fun little markers here. And we're going to just color quick. Okay, no problem. Can I show the basket? And not Dollar Tree, the other the Dollar Gen type store. They're just little white baskets. It's hard to see them on camera. I can take a picture of one and post it later. But I like that they have the lids because I have an open space here that I'll take a picture, Michelle. Penny, I think Christopher was on too because he said something about being on the devil's tricycle. All right, I'm going to do some fast coloring tonight. We're not going to do super, super much blending. I'm just going to use, these are the tri-blends. I love them. They're super fun if you're just getting into coloring. Yeah, the unicorn is super, super cute. It's one of my favorites. I have one of the first cards I made on the design team, I believe, was, oh, thank you very much. That's awesome. I will make sure I link to them tomorrow when I get my links in, when I'm at my fancy computer instead of my laptop or instead of my tablet. I'm just going to use the dark and the light. And We're just going to color them in. I tend to usually go dark to light, but tonight I'm trying to do a little bit light. I'm sorry, I got to move up a little bit. I tend to color close. I am actually going to grab my cheaters. What is the Devil's Tricycle? It's an exercise bike, Francie. It's Christopher's favorite exercise. And that's what he calls it. All right, we got the light, and then I'm just going to go back. I'm just using the light and the dark tonight. But sorry, I got lost train of thought. The tri-blend markers are perfect. This is pale pink blend because they come with a light, a medium, and a dark. So you don't really have to think about it. Yes, it's a Peloton. I didn't know if I could say that on a video or not. Francie. This one is the pink violet blend. And we're just going to quick go in and color. I think we're going to make the owls a fun color too. I don't know if I want to make them, this is a love card, right? So we don't want to necessarily have to make it lifelike. We want to have fun with the colors. Now these colors, I'm going to show you this. This is quite a difference in the blend. If you can see that. Sorry, I'm still getting used to the zoom on this. Ooh. And I'm going to have to use the third color on that one, the medium, to kind of lighten that up. But these markers are just, you don't have to really think about when you, like Copics. Copics are great. Olos are great. I have both. But these are fun for fast coloring when you don't want to think about it and you just want to color because it gives you the 3 right away. Yes, Francie, you'll have to ask him about that. All right, now this one is the dark red blends. I actually need to make a list of the ones I have so I can, every time I think about ordering some, I'm like, which colors do I have at home? They're very fun to have. I just want to make sure I was on camera. Apologize. So we got a huge snowstorm yesterday in Iowa. It was crazy snow and it snowed all day. Now, I am a snow person. I love snow, so I'm okay with it. I didn't have to go anywhere. Hold this card up again, please. Certainly. Is that what you needed, Michelle? So this is the Lots of Love stamp set. It was one that was just brought back last month. Christopher had it in a bundle. I don't know if the bundle is still available, but I do know the stamp set is still available. So this is another one. It's snowing again there. It's supposed to be snowing here too, Joanne. We're supposed to get maybe up to 3 inches. And our news has started this whole yellow alert, red alert day thing. So yesterday was a red alert. Today was a yellow alert. Schools were closed all over again. We're getting traced to 3 inches supposedly tonight. And then tomorrow night through Saturday, we're supposed to get another 8 to 10 inches of snow. Isn't that crazy? Yes. Oh, yep. I will show it to you. I will show that up again. I am kind of coloring a little fast too. So I did the medium with these 2 colors and I just did the dark and the light with the light color. Does that make sense? Francie, it's the Midwest. It's that time of year. I'll show you, Michelle. Yes, it's one of the sets that came out of the vault. You're right. Hello, Annie. I'm going to go ahead and use the dark to light, and I'll show you the difference. Now, one thing I should do, somebody told me this on a live, and I try to do this, is that if you put a piece of copy paper underneath, it sometimes helps with the bleeding, especially with reds, and I have found that that helps. I just forget to do it once in a while. You're in Michigan and want the snow and it keeps skipping me. Paula, I felt the same way. This is our first real big snowfall. I mean, we had a little snow, but we finally got our big snow yesterday. And it snowed. Like, if I look at when I looked at my neighbor's fence this morning, the snow just blew up against it and you couldn't see the clock from the bank. It was covered in snow. I mean, we had so much snow yesterday that they actually closed the banks in town. Everyone got to go home. I I work just really close to work, so it wasn't a big deal for me to just go in. I mean, I could walk if I needed to. So I just went in and got some of my work done, some of my stuff I'd been putting off. And I'm from Minnesota originally, and I never used to like the snow. I love the snow now. I really do. I'm not worried too much about where my shadows are. I'm just coloring. I like to just color. I don't like to try to make it so much about light. I mean, I do try to keep them all on the same kind of direction, but I like to just color. I think that's the fun part about it. If you think too much about it, then you kind of take away some of the fun. And but that's in my opinion. All right, this is the red blend. Ellen, you're in East Texas. You don't function with snow, so it can pass by. Yeah, you know what, Ellen? I'll take it. I can take it. That's why I grew up here. Yes. Oh, yeah. It's going to be cold. Donna, it's supposed to be like that here too. They said, this one's the magenta blend, that we are going to not get above 0 on Sunday. I think it's going to be -3, but it is January. That doesn't usually last too long around here. I mean, it might feel like it, but January is usually the cold days. Now, when my kids were in elementary school, I remember that I brought them down to school and it was crazy. We had had a bunch of snow. You had a small squall in Utah. It was pretty awesome. It was awesome here too, Jules. I think so was. Anyway, I dropped my kids off at school, and because they could have taken the bus, but I just lived just 5 minutes up the hill because I live in the Mississippi River Valley, so you go down a hill and then up a hill to get in my town. So I had to go down the hill, drop my kids off, and just as my kids are crossing the street, the crosswalk lady comes over to me and she goes, "Just so you know," just like this, she's whispering, "we're getting out at 10 o'clock." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, this time, I mean, my kids were little, like, I don't know, second, third graders, first, second graders, I don't know, pretty little. I was not really big into watching the weather. So I was kind of like, okay. Not knowing that we had had such warm weathers that everything melted in town and then it dropped 55 degrees and things just froze. So the town was like a lake of ice. So I was glad to get in and out of town and pick up my kids. On these smaller ones, I'm probably just going to use the dark and the medium. And I'll hold this up again when I get closer to finishing. And I also have purple blend. So we'll go ahead and do purple blend too. These are a couple different purples, so you will be able to see when I hold it up that they are different colors. So as you get coloring, yeah, it was a secret. It was fancy. And I'm like, my kids couldn't hear them anyway. I mean, they wouldn't have cared. That was the ages when they were still in school and they liked, well, my daughter both my kids, I think, always liked school. They were involved in a lot of things. My son liked school in high school. In particular, he was student body president. And, they were involved in a bunch of things and things like that. So he, always had activities going on. And she was in a bunch of, she was on the dance team and a cheerleader. They were both in drama and a choir and all sorts of things. So they liked school. I mean, they kind of knew that was their job. So this purple blend, I'm going to see if I can do it to the right angle. I got to take my glass cheaters off. You can kind of see there a little bit. Okay, sorry. There we go. See, there's a couple different purples there. And I think I'm going to go over it with the medium one more time right here, just to kind of blend that dark and light together again. Every once in a while, I find if I have to go over it more than once, that helps the blend as well, if you're struggling with your blend. All right, and then we need one more. I think I'm going to do the red again, just because I really like the red. Nice big pop of red. And so it's been tough for those of you who are new and don't know my puppy hurt his foot. He broke his foot a couple of weeks ago. He's doing pretty good, but he loves the snow and he wants to be out in it. He doesn't quite understand why mom and dad aren't letting him out as much. And part of that's because he won't let us put a plastic piece um, on his cast. So I don't want it to get super wet and he will run and run and run in it. So this is the coral blend. No, he is not. Well, yes and no. He is not in the cone of shame all the time. He's learning. If we catch him biting on the cast, then we put it on him. But when he starts, he's been kind of, I think it's getting to the part where it's starting to itch a little bit. So he's licking and he's licking not the cast so much as he's licking the bottom of his foot or like the top of his leg. And if he does a little bit too much, then we do. But the funny thing is if he's not listening and he kind of like goes to like kind of bite it, all I have to do is take the cast out or the cone out and put it down in front of him and he stops. So he's doing pretty good. I'm pretty proud of him, but I think he's ready to be done. All right. We're just going to keep adding colors. I've got this hydrangea blend. Just going to keep adding some purples. I think we'll make it her cone purple. Might just do it on 2 colors here, the dark and the medium again. We've been nicknamed the Omadome because I always call for the bad weather all seasons, and the worse the weather almost always goes around us. It hit, Michelle, that's kind of the way I feel like I am. I live north of Highway 20. I don't live too far from the Field of Dreams. It's like within a half an hour. And there's a Highway 20, and that goes across the state into, you can take that in towards Chicago. And a lot of times the weather will either hit right above it, and then that hits us. Like it hits us straight on. Otherwise, it hits the Minnesota border because I'm an hour south of Minnesota border, or it hits Highway 20 and south. So we're in this kind of bubble. So I believe you with that. Now this is a tricolor aqua. I think this is an aqua watercolor. I got this from the SCT. And it doesn't really have a bunch of colors that match. I'm just going to go ahead and use it. It's a little bit different, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of pull it in a little bit. I'm kind of learning that. I'm not a big fan of them yet. I'm still playing with them a little bit. And I think what I'll do is I'll grab an Olo marker and we'll add that to it. What's Gutenberg? Gutenberg is the name. It's a German name. So I live right on the Mississippi River. Like literally. I can see it from the spare bedroom. So I'm going to add just a little bit of an Olo marker here and there. I add a little bit here there just to make it kind of blend a little. Oops, that's a big different color. Well, we'll just color this whole nose this color. Changing it around, guys. Sorry about that. I should have been paying attention. That's okay. That works. We will do this light pink. Hi, Susan. You have never been in snow deeper than half an inch. Susan, it's not for everyone. I grew up in the city, or I grew up in Minnesota, so I'm okay with it. I really am. I never used to be. I always liked the heat. I always said I was going to move. My mom is from California, and I always said I'd move to California. I just realized that that's part of my purple heart back there. But now that I'm getting a little older, I really do enjoy it. We're just going to color that in to match the color of the hair. We're going to grab this. What's the color I used? I think the coral is what I used. Hi, Ani. How are you? Welcome to my live. I'm not coloring any Yetis. We're coloring a unicorn and an owl. And I can't even remember what color we were coloring, you guys. I got distracted. Is this the right color? Yep, I got to color the rest of his hair. There's a lot of pink and purple going on with this. And I got a little bit on the other side. I'm okay with that because I'm looking for my purple. Which is the first purple we used here, you guys? I think it was this one. I think it was this one. We're gonna see. It might have been the other one. I missed this part. That's okay. We'll add it in. You're originally from Kansas, so your bones know snow as a kid. Adult knees over it. I am making an easel card, Ani. I'm going to use some of these. I'll have it posted later. I've got the easel and some hearts and some glitter. And this is the Lots of Love. And we got the owl stamp set. When you were a teenager, you drove us to do the field. That is, yep, the Field of Dreams is in Dyersville. We're, so, and that is south of me. But it's not that far. I mean, I can go there. I go there. I don't go to Dyersville that often. I'm going to use this one, and we're going to use these two for the owls, I think. I had a friend of mine come and visit. Her nephews were great big fans of baseball, so we went down there, and then I go shopping there off and on. So when you were a kid, you had winters in Pittsburgh, so you were okay with that, but you don't have. I miss it. I mean, I was really sad to not have a white Christmas. I mean, it didn't quite feel like Christmas. We haven't had that many white Christmases in the last few years, but it just, I don't know. I feel like it's just not Christmas without it. And it's not winter. If I didn't want snow, I would move where there is no snow. But I live where there's snow. So I want snow. All right, we're gonna just color this guy in. I don't really have a rhyme or reason, you guys, when I color. I just color for my fun. Hey, Dad, want to have a catch? Yes, it does. I got to go. When did we go this year? We went in August. It was hot. It was really, really fun. I took some pictures of my friends, nephews. They're really into baseball. They play in a couple of traveling teams one of the in Chicago area, and they pitched the ball to each other and played catch. And they went and stood in the corn was really tall at the time, of course. So they went and stood in the corn, and it was just really fun to go there. And then it was funny, we were going towards the store. So it's all been changed. When my son was little, they didn't have the new store, and they didn't have some of the more touristy stuff, that newer stuff. It's really nice. But he said, I think this guy was play baseball, and we were like, why? What would he be here? Well, we felt horrible because he was 100% right. It was a Major League Baseball player that walked by in one of the clothes. So it's a fun memory. And Kevin Costner actually bought a house there. Not that he's my neighbor, but he's not. Or he supposedly has a house there, and so does the guy that plays his dad. I guess he supposedly bought a house down there too, just because they really like the area. It's a nice little area. It's not too far from the city, like from Dubuque or Cedar Rapids. So it's a little bit, if you need to get in to that bigger area, you can. So we're just coloring these couple owls with just a few colors here. I'm just doing the magenta blend and the purple blend. So did you all get some of the new release yet? And what's your favorite thing so far? Is it the stamp set? Is it the die or the stencils? I think it's just a fun release. I'm super excited to see it in my hands. It is on its way. All right. And I think we're going to use the light purple to color in the eyebrows here on this pinky. You know what? I think I've changed my mind. Die of the month is awesome. It is super cute. I think it's fun. It's been fun watching the videos, and I can't wait to play with it and just do some other stuff with it. I think I'm going to go ahead and have some fun with this, and we're going to use the dark red in the medium tone for his beak. Francie, you can't wait to use it either? No, I can't wait. And don't forget, you guys, add some sparkle or shine to it and then put it in the Brutus Monroe fan club page. So you can enter it in the the challenge for the month. All right. We're gonna have some fun with this. I don't know about his their eyeballs though. I don't think they should be red. I'm thinking light blue. What are you guys thinking? Light blue? I think I'm just gonna do around the edges here. Dubuque is where I went to. Yep, Dubuque. Yep, that's not too far away. That's where JCPenney is. It's still there, Michelle. I went shopping there a little while ago. All right, now what I like to do, let me see if I can find it. The white of the eyeballs. Oh, thank you. I think they're fun too. The white of the eyeballs are too white for me. So I use the BG 7.0 from the Olos, and I just kind of dirty them up a little bit. It's not really it's a hard color. I'll show it up closer. It's a hard color to see the difference. I don't even know if you can see it on camera. I didn't do this eyeball, but it just makes the subtlest little difference if you add a little bit of light gray to your white, depending on what it is. If it's snow, you can use light purple, light blue, light pink. Those are fun colors to use to kind of make a difference. All right, we got our images here. Now, here's my little trick. This is what I like to do. Now, some people don't like to do this. They get nervous. But we're going to stamp over these images. And we're going to hope for the best. All right. I was thinking it's a hoot that the owl in the back is getting poked in the eye. He is kind of getting poked in the eye, isn't he? Now, something fun you could do is you could add, and we might still do that. We might change this up one more time yet here. All right, here's the moment of truth. I'm going to switch this up. Thank you. I love the color. Now that just adds a little bit of pop, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put my detail ink away and grab my black VersaFine Clear ink. This is a pigment ink. It does. Yes, it makes your images pop. We're going to heat emboss these. All right, so let's do some anti-static powder tool. It doesn't really matter too much if it sticks. We're going to make them extra shiny because, it's a Valentine's Day card, right? And we're going to add, and I like to use this on the top so that they pop even more. And we're going to add some. I don't know if I'm going to do icicle or fairy dust. I haven't decided that yet. All right, now we're getting just a little bit. I want that branch to be super dark. There we go. All right. Now we're going to grab this. Still got to choose our sentiments yet. We're going with fairy dust, guys, because that's what I grabbed. So grab my little T triangle. I will tell you, if you go put these big containers in hood spoons, these T triangles, these bead trays make such a helpful change than using like a spoon. Last time there was a big, right for the big sale at the end of the year, I bought a set of 6 so that I could have some in a couple of my containers. All right. You ready for this sparkle? Thank you, Susan. This is my favorite part. Watching that unboxing cousin milk. All right, let's twist it a little bit. And there we go. Yes, you can. And I have a plastic, I have a grid piece, but I figure if I, as long as I make sure it's in the corner, lined up, I think I've only ever messed it up once, Michelle, when I've done that. So, all right, guys, this is not my favorite thing to do, but we're going to do some quick fussy cutting, okay? I'm going to go ahead and cut these out. It is magical. We're going to just do a quick, fast, fussy cut. I do want to leave a little bit, I think, of a white edge just because it'll pop against the image. But you could cut this image, you could kind of cut up to the lines. Now, one of the keys, I'm embracing more fussy cutting, is to turn your paper. Thank you for the link there, Penny. Oh my, that was weird watching the owl's eyes change when you did that. Did they change? Or was it because of the fancy, because of the color? And they had the, oh, because they were matte and then they got shiny. All right, so I'm kind of doing this fairly quickly. I found if you think about it too much, then that's when fussy cutting doesn't work for me so much. So I just kind of go and turn and just go with it and kind of let the scissors go kind of fast. Because otherwise, if I go real slow and think about the different curves, then I find I have hard edges. All righty. I'll get this one done. Ah, that wasn't too bad. Or use the SVG file. Correct, Penny. I don't have time for that because my machine is way over there and I don't have a place to set it up. I could have cut them out ahead of time. Yes. And I'm going to quickly cut this one out. I got part of it today. There were things missing. I particularly wanted the particular die of the month. I'm still looking forward to it. Yep. Yep. It has been exciting. What is an SVG file? For Francie, that is for like a cut machine, like a Cricut, or I have a scan and cut, or like I think a Silhouette. So it's a digital file that is kind of like a digital die. Does that make sense? So with a Cricut, you can cut them out ahead of time, and I can show that I can show that next week what you can do with an SVG like file. It's like if you die cut out the image first and set up a negative area and stamp it on the area. Does that make sense? I can show you quickly. If you give me a minute what I'm talking about. I have done that before. You can set it up. It's actually a very good way to do mass producing if you die cut. So then what you need to do is you can cut out a bunch of the blanks, like with the image, I don't know what you want to call it, the SVG file part that has no stamped image on it, and then use the negative as like a frame to hold it, and you can put them in and stamp them over and over. I will, if you don't mind, because I know it's not going to take us too long to put this together. I can show you right at the end. I'll grab a stamp set that has a die and kind of mimic what I'm talking about. I cannot tonight, Michelle, because I do not have a way of hooking it up. But I can show it. I can do a video. Does that work, Michelle? Or if I have a second this weekend, I can try to do a quick video over the weekend, but I have to get it all set up here, okay? Or in a different location because I don't have enough room on this desk. Like on my other desk behind me, I can show how to do it. I think the hard part is that it depends on, you can use a computer screen or you can use the module, but I can definitely show that. All right, let's get started and put this together. So I will do what I can, Michelle, to see. Like I said, I might have to do an edited video so that I can show the different parts because of the my desk setup. Yeah, yep, I will, Michelle. I'll look into that right away. So I'm just using some of the blue Barely Arts glue. It just came back in stock, so I think so if you want to get some of that, I love it. It's my favorite glue. And yes, somebody asked me that last night. It can ship in the winter. Let's see. I don't know which one we're going to put on it. I think we're going to do that one. Let's get these glued together here. Now I do have just a little bit of the plastic from the candy coat hanging off the edge here. I'm going to trim that just a hair. So and the difference between like a scan and cut is it will cut the images out for you, but it's nice, like I said, when you can have the SVG because you can pre-cut it because and then stamp it, because a lot of times my machine is kind of crazy. I have to calibrate it sometimes. So I like to have them cut out beforehand and then stamp. All right, so now for the easel card, this is where you can kind of make your decision where you want this. You got the new glue press, Joanne. It is I've used it. It's on my wish list. But I don't have it right now. I'm going to go ahead and try to kind of center it the most part. You could put pattern paper on there and things like that, but I'm going to just leave it plain for right now because we have a lot going on. And I'm going to go ahead and add, you can use redline tape or sticky glue or sticky tape. I'm going to go ahead and just use liquid glue. And I'm kind of just center it up here. And then I'm going to actually stick my Misty on top. I've got one of the old stamp sets still stuck in my, hey, doing an edited video for my YouTube channel, and I haven't finished it yet. The dies, they're actually a lawn fawn die, Michelle. It's the outside in stitched hearts is the inside part, and this one is lacy heart stackables. Okay, and they you can use any kind of hearts or other colors. I just was trying to make something fun. All right, there we go. We got that one done. And so here we've got, this is how it's going to lay flat. We got to put up an image yet. I'm going to let it sit up for now. This will fit in an A2 card. You're welcome. In an A2 card envelope, or I'm sorry, A2 envelope. And I like to kind of open it up when I put this on so I don't accidentally get the glue on the bottom section. And then I just kind of eyeball it from left to right on that. And then, like I said, just put something heavy on it. Your Misty is very good for that. So now we got to decide which one we're going to do on which. I think we're going to do the owls on here. Now, I will tell you that for me personally, I like to use liquid glue when I'm using them on glitter. Sometimes I use both, tape runner and liquid glue, but I always use liquid glue when I'm doing it on glitter or like the candy coat because it helps it stick. I just want to make sure it doesn't go over the edge too much because then it won't fit in my A2 card panel, which is fine. Then I would just put it in like a 5x7 card panel. And then I think with this one, we're going to go over on this side. Just going to add a little bit of glue. And then we'll get our sentiments figured out here. And then I will show you the last step of what I would do. Okay, so we've got this, right? So this is what I'm going to try to hold it this way. So if it's flat, and then as the easel, it's going to go up like that. Well, this one can stand on its own, but if you want a stopper for it, these are just some old hearts I found in my stash. For my die cutting, I don't have any clue what they're from. I just grabbed a few. I'm going to go ahead and grab one, and I think, oops, the glue is not finished being dry on there. I'm going to do quick ink blend on them. Okay. And There's that one. Let's see. I got a couple different sizes here. Anything really will work. I'm going to grab the Crown Me. So we add a little bit extra purple in. Yes. Yep. And I'm just going to do a quick ink blend. Here's another spot you could add some sparkle by adding some extra, embossing powder over it. This is the Crown Me from Simon Hurley Creates. The Simon Hurley inks stay wet a little bit longer, just a little bit. So I heat emboss with them if I'm quick, or if I put a lot of them on there, or you could, put embossing powder or embossing ink over the front. Then I'm going to quick grab some Squeaky Clean here, and I'm so excited. The cinnamon hearts. I think I still have some cinnamon hearts, but that it's back in stock. That's one of my favorites. I love the smell of it. And it reminds me of Red Hots. Not that I like Red Hots necessarily, but it reminds me of Red Hots. Okay, so I think I need one more of these little circle hearts. See if I can find one more that's the same size. There. Nope. Like I said, I just cut. I don't even know if I have enough of each one. Well, it looks like I don't have a third one of that, so we're going to make it work tonight. 3 is probably going to be the better number. We're going to test it out. We're going to stack these up. I do like Red Hots. I just don't know if they're, I haven't had them in a while, but the cinnamon, I think, do you know the cinnamon jelly hearts? They're like gummy hearts. They're available like this time of year. They're one of my favorites. Yeah, the smell of it is one of my favorites. So we're going to go ahead and layer. I'm going to layer 3 of them on this one because I do have 3. And then we'll just layer this one with 2. I can't think of the last time I actually had Red Hots. I have a recipe for a Red Hot Jello salad. You put Red Hots in it. Oh my gosh, it's really, really good. My kid's aunt made it once. I'd have never made it, but it's really good. Okay, so what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna put it down where we want it to stop. And I'm gonna put it right in the center so that the bottom of my heart stops right in the center of that heart. I will hold this up in just a second. So I want it to stop right about here. I'm gonna put that down. So when it's closed, it's gonna look like this, but there's just a little bit of a raise so that it will stop and hold that. Now, because I did the heart, that's why I did this one. If you're doing like a circle or a square or something like that, you can put it off to the side. And then of course a sentiment in here, which I don't have that done yet. But thanks, Kelly. I used to, but they're a little hot for me now. Nah, Michelle, you're not a wimp. I think they just change. I think our taste just changed. I haven't tried that, Penny. I'll have to try Red Hots in my apple cider. I've been kind of on my own. I'm on a little bit of a homemade kick lately, so I've been following some Instagrammers with homemade stuff, and I just found a recipe for homemade apple cider that makes it in a crock pot. I want to try that. So this is what they look like when they stand. You can see them from the top. It's a little bit harder when you turn it because sometimes it doesn't want to stay correctly when I hold it this way. Thank you, you guys. We need to get some stamps on this, though. We need to get some sentiments on this. So where's my owl stamp set? It's on my desk here. So I think I'm going to stamp this directly in my card right here, because I think that's going to be cool. I'm going to just go ahead and pull these off. I will clean them later. We're going to stick this in my sentiment. Oh, thank you, you guys. I was super excited when I thought about what I was going to do, and I love the easel cards. I've only made a few, and I keep forgetting about it, and I thought I should make some easel cards. So I was kind of getting us all ready while we were watching Christopher's live last night, thinking they would make some fun cards. And sometimes it's fun when you can pull out an older stamp set and mix it with something newer. Like this easel card die isn't super new, but it's newer than the Lots of Love and the Owl stamp set. You know, and you could very easily just use some of the pattern paper that came with this release and cut your hearts out. You wouldn't have to go so much as, you know, adding a stencil, like if you don't have time for the step, for the extra step with, I have my Gina K Tidy towel here too that I'm just going to quick wipe that off with. If you don't have time to wait for something to dry, like the with the glazes. Okay, so we've got that. So I think that's kind of fun. I'm going to go ahead and stick that down below for a minute, and we're going to grab this Lots of Love stamp set, and we're going to do the XOXO, and I think we're going to do the love. Let's grab, I had some scratch paper here. It was about 20 minutes late. Did you do the scoring? I did not do the scoring. The scoring is part of the die, Francie. I will show it to you. The die, here's the die from the easel set. There's a score line right here, and there's a score line right here. Those go in there, so then it can score. And then it cuts out the shape. So there, it puts a score line right here, and it puts a score line right here. And you fold the top, the middle one down, and then the tiny one goes up. Okay? So we are just about over. We are just over. I hope we're okay. You know, unless you're gonna put me in the corner or anything. I think I'm not gonna use the black though. We're gonna grab Bee Sting here. Adds a little bit more color. And I know I have that stamp set underneath this, so I should probably, I have my card underneath it. My inks need to be these inks need to be re-inked too. All right, there we go. I'll go very quickly here. I also wanted to point out the Super Sentimental dies had some fun. They have I Seriously Love You, Hey Gorgeous, They're Beautiful, You're My Favorite, and Occasional Greetings have Be My Valentine, and I think this one was extra sentimental. Super Sentimental has Hello Beautiful, Miss Your Face, Ooh La La, Love Your Face Sent with Love, Love. So some of these, you're my favorite. So these would work very well for sentiments to go with this as well. All right. We're going to very quickly cut these out. Cut out the love first. This is just some leftover white cardstock from a project I was doing the other day. So, and I like to do is just line it up. I line it up. So it's at the bottom of my screen, my trimmer. I don't think I can get that up camera here. And I line it up with the edge of my white, or my guard here. And that gives me kind of the perfect placement. Actually, we'll do this side first. And then it gives me kind of the perfect edge all the way around. See? It's kind of weird. I feel like my camera, I have the iPhone 15. I feel like it shifts a little bit. Oh, thank you, you guys. I appreciate it. I colored more than I planned on tonight, but I did not pre-color because I do that a lot. I thought maybe I should do a little bit of coloring on camera. Oh, my dog heard me make some noises. Pup, pup, pup. All right, we're gonna trim off a little bit there. There we go. We're gonna finish this off. I'm gonna quick grab this purple blend and do the light, and I'm gonna color in this heart very carefully. It's kind of a pinky color with the red, but I think it kind of that makes the heart kind of fun. I'm not gonna do any shading. I just added a little color. And then we're gonna throw in this. I'm gonna throw in the XOXO. Well, thanks, Donna. I appreciate it. Sometimes I'm not sure. I hope I'm, talking okay. I am a talker. So I'm gonna stick this up here a little bit above. Cover up a little bit of that top of that heart. Stick this. And then we're gonna stick the love kind of the same way. Actually, I think I might, we're gonna stick it up here. Now you do want to make sure that if you're gluing things down, you don't want to make sure there's not extra glue so that it's going to stick to the back of up here. So I'm just going to wipe just to make sure. Joanne, thanks. Just kidding. She knows. Joanne is a friend of mine from my local craft group. All right. So we've got a couple of cards here today. Using the Elegant Easels die set and a couple of older stamp sets. And then we used some glitter glaze and some candy coat. And okay, this guy is a little bit off. I put the heart on a little bit of an angle, so I'm gonna have to fix that, but it's fine for my honey. So I would say if you're going to use it, I like the 3 better. The 3 seems to sit up a little bit better. The 2, I may find this heart if I can and get one more and put it on top, just so that it stays up. I could actually grab this other, it's the same heart, and put it on top too. And then it will stay up a little bit better for it, or if you use a piece of like foam tape. So there we go. I appreciate you guys all so much. Thanks for hanging out with me this evening, and I look forward to seeing you next week, and we will play with the dynamic duos. And don't forget to create something every day, you guys, and have a great night. Okay, thank you. Have a good night, you guys. Joanne, I'm not sure. I will see probably when the weather gets better for sure, but it depends. All right, I'll message you next time. Bye guys, have a good night.